So this is a quick review of the first half of Ace Attorney since the second half has just started. And as someone that grew up and played the original game, or at least the original 3DS game these are based upon, I loved it. It was a really faithful adaptation, I believe. Now, whether or not people actually like it or not, that's a different question. But it's really worked for me. It was fun trying to remember the solution, trying to remember what happened, and getting sort of some clues that help jog my memory. And that's what makes this good. It follows the game's 4 cases, I believe. You have the one that started him on this journey in the game, and then the 3 subsequent ones, including with the big one. And these were fun. It was great reliving the game, remembering some of the sequences that just frustrated. How there were a couple times where I already figured out the solution, but I didn't know the steps to solve it. Because I couldn't just jump ahead, even though I already wanted to. It's like, you are the guilty party. This is why I've caught you in a lie, but no, you have to do it step by step, and it just doesn't work. But here, it's fun, and I might do a case-by-case review. Just a quick spoiler review of each case as they're finished for the second game. I hope this gets a second season, or maybe this is technically the second season, because I want to see all the games done. Because I never played the third one, so I don't know a whole lot about it. But they're good. Each individual case, the first one is sort of the training one. He has to learn how to solve it. You got his partner who trained him. Then the second case where he's got to solve a murder, and each one is all about him growing, accumulating with the last case, which was one of the best. And it was heartbreaking reliving these cases as I played the game, remembering, oh no, this is what's going to happen next, and so on. But I liked it. I'll do a quick spoiler review here. For a quick watch or not, I recommend it. If you play the game, you'll like it. If you haven't played the game, it's still an interesting mystery to solve. There is some Deus Ex Machina I'm not completely sold on, but for the most part, it works. As for the cases, the first one is about the first character, about his friend who is accused of murdering his girlfriend, and he has to figure out what happened, and he goes through the clues and finally figures out who the murderer was. And that's what makes it interesting. It turns out it was this stalker, and the clue was that the statue was behind because she just came from another area. So the criminal thought it was one time, but it was really not. And I'd already figured this out pretty quickly. But in the game, you had to wait for the right time to bring it up, and I sort of had to sit through watching it. But it was still fun reliving it. The second one is the heartbreaking one. That's where his teacher, the one that taught him to be a lawyer, is murdered, and he has to solve the crime. And he does it by meeting her younger sister, who is learning to be a medium too, but isn't quite there. They touch on the supernatural in this series of cases, but it's not till later ones where it really comes into play in the second half, or in the second game. Here it's just sort of touched on a few small times, and this was heartbreaking, but at the same time, really worth watching. The third one is sort of a filler, but not too bad. A samurai sort of Power Rangers TV show takes place, and it's all about figuring out how did this samurai not murder someone. And the clues are there, and it works. This one's more of a filler, but it's still decent. Then we get the ending, which is probably the best. The second one's good too, but this is the one that really shines, where we find out the story behind Phoenix Wright's friend, who was the prosecuting attorney in first episode, I believe it was, second, get which, but you then have to deal with this situation of a childhood friend who wanted to be a defendant, but after his father was killed, now becomes this great villain. Well, not really villain, but he's a great prosecuting attorney, which leads to this great, hard situation, and I liked it. You learn so much about the characters in this one and the second one are the two best because you learn so much about the characters. First one's just setting it up, and third one's more giving you something to do between the meat. And this was a really heavy episode, and it was really interesting reliving all these great cases. So I definitely recommend watching this anime if you haven't already. If you want my recommendation, definitely go for it.